On August 28, 1963, while much of America nervously watched the March on Washington, nearly 1,000 demonstrators gathered in the all-black neighborhood of East Austin, Texas, to march toward the state capitol in 102-degree heat. Veteran activists of all color from across the state flanked several hundred local black teenagers. Groups of white college students and Mexican-American activists also joined the procession. The protesters assembled under the live oak trees at a park near the Capitol, listening and cheering to movement leaders as they gave a series of speeches. They did so, calling for a passage of federal and state civil rights acts, but in an unusual manner. They'll never separate the Latin American and the Negro again in politics, thundered W.J. Durham of Dallas. They'll never separate the independent white man and the Negro again. They'll never separate labor and the Negro again. We're going to march on the streets, pray on the streets, sit in the streets, walk in the streets. We're going to fight at the ballot box and at the courts. And that's the last message I've got for my governor, he said. I can talk more about him whenever you like. Not right now. Henry Munoz, a union activist from San Antonio, said, "The Negro today asked justice," right? He gave a similar speech. We do not answer him by answering patience, right? The Mexican Americans waiting as well, and our nation itself is at stake. He gives this speech on behalf of the Political Association of Spanish-Speaking Organizations, or PASO, which at the time was the most militant of the Mexican-American organizations in the state. I'll talk about why in a second. Strange as it may now seem, this march was just the tip of a much larger iceberg. Beginning in the 1930s, African-American, Mexican-American, and white labor and community activists gradually came together in a broad struggle for democracy in Texas. Separate local organizing efforts in the barrios, ghettos, union halls, and storefront campaign offices gradually gave way to local experiments in multiracial collaboration. By the mid-1960s, the diverse activists created a formal, egalitarian statewide alliance in support of liberal politicians and an expansive multiracial civil rights agenda. They called their partnership simply the Democratic Coalition.